He didn't call, didn't warn. Just showed up one morning with a rented bulldozer and a smug grin like he was doing the world a favor. The first strike collapsed the east wall. By the third, the rafters, those same beams my father and I raised with our own hands, splintered like brittle bones. He called it a cleansing, sneered, "Real men don't hide in sheds." But that wasn't a shed. That was the last thing my father ever built. And it wasn't his sister's land. It was mine. And now, so is his bankruptcy. He was the type of man who measured worth in volume. Voice loudest at dinner, truck with the biggest exhaust, always making grand gestures, stretching his arms wide at barbecues, claiming space like it was his birthright. I tolerated him for my wife. Back then, I still believed in the idea of family, even when he mocked my work, custom woodcraft, handmade furniture, hours of sanding and joinery. He'd smirk and say, "Cute hobby." My wife would chuckle, unsure whether to defend me or laugh with him. I let it go, for a while. But there are lines you don't cross. He crossed one you don't come back from. My father died 5 years ago. Cancer stole him before he could finish his final piece of walnut tool chest. Dovetail joints so precise they looked machine cut. After the funeral, I went back to our workshop. It took me 3 months to finish it. Every night I'd sand those edges, tears soaking into the wood. That place, our workshop, it was more than wood and nails. It was him, us, every groove in the bench, every dent in the old floorboards, every tool hung with purpose. And he destroyed it, called it clutter, claimed he was reclaiming his sister's property. I didn't scream. I didn't argue. I didn't even show up. I just parked down the hill and filmed every second. Every insult, every smug nod to the camera, every pulverized memory. That moment wasn't the beginning. It was the finale. It started 2 months earlier with a strange electric bill addressed to my wife. Odd, since I'd paid it. I looked into it. Turns out the utilities had mistakenly been registered under her name when we got married. Sloppy paperwork. But the deed, the land, those were mine. I bought that lot 2 years before I even met her. Registered, surveyed, signed, clean. So when I asked her why her brother had been nosing around the back lot, she muttered something about him thinking I spent too much time out there away from her. She didn't meet my eyes when she said it. I didn't argue. I didn't accuse. I just opened a folder on my desktop and titled it, "Burn Down." I called my lawyer Mr. Harlan. Quiet man, wears cheap ties. But in a courtroom, he's a wolf. Together, we started documenting. Step 1. I hired a drone company to map the entire lot. 3D topography. Timestamped. The workshop sat 10 full feet inside my property line. We notarized it. Step 2. I cataloged every single item inside: tools, machines, cabinets with serial numbers, appraisals from the independent experts, dated photos. Step 3. I got a copy of the bulldozer rental. Took some digging. But a friend at the equipment yard sent it to me anonymously. His name, his license, his signature, his decision. Step 4. I stayed quiet. The day of demolition, I let him bask in the attention. He even uploaded a video to Facebook, titled "Taking Back the Backyard." He stood next to the pile of wreckage with a beer in hand, grinning. Time to grow a real family. He said that smile would become Exhibit A. 3 days later, he received the notice. Charges: property destruction, trespassing, malicious intent, civil damages. Value of damages, $138. $700. He laughed when he got the paperwork. Called me soft, said no judge would take it seriously. He wasn't laughing in court. At the deposition, he kept saying, "My sister's land," over and over like a mantra. That's when Harlan slid the deed across the table. My name, bold, stamped, sealed. Silence. Then came the drone footage, the surveyor's report, the receipts, insurance valuations, screenshots of his own Facebook video. Each one landed like a nail. And then Harlan pulled out the last image, a photo of my father and me, covered in sawdust, standing arm in arm in front of the workshop. His lawyer leaned over and whispered something. I watched the color drain from his face. That was the moment he knew. The court ruled in my favor, full damages, plus legal fees. He tried to appeal, lost again. Within 6 months, his truck was repossessed. His boat was sold at auction. Then the house went. Last I heard, he and his wife were renting a cramped two-bedroom to towns over. He's doing delivery runs now, taking odd jobs under the table, credit destroyed, reputation shattered. And my wife, she left, said I was obsessed, said I let a building mean more than family. No, I let truth mean more than lies. I let memory mean more than manipulation. And I let her walk away just like she let him reduce my father's legacy to rubble. But I rebuilt. Not the same workshop. This one's different. Set farther back into the lot, hidden under trees. No path leads to it. No signs. No access. Just peace. And locks dot inside. There's a new workbench. On top sits a simple chest. Walnut. Hand-cut dovetails. Every joint flush, every drawer gliding smooth. No machines. Just hand tools, patience, love. In the top drawer, there's a copy of the court ruling. And under that the photo. My father and me, grinning, in front of the first workshop. The one he destroyed. He thought he bulldozed a building, but I buried him in it. Revenge doesn't always come with flames or fists. Sometimes it wears a suit, files a motion, speaks softly in court, and walks out while the other man's world quietly crumbles behind him.